only on the ground for 50% of that first quarter.
Huge numbers from Murphy, 13 with 50% of game time in that first quarter. So his work rate has been quite high.
Both these teams super keen to get their season finally up and running. Still 17 more games left after this. Plenty can still happen, but a win here going to be massive. And Murphy lays a strong tackle. Simpson also tackled strongly by Gray. Secondary ball up.
He started well, Gray, hasn't he? He's had the 9 disposals. He's had a couple of tackles to go with it. There's been some really good signs from him in the early part of this game.
I like the Dockers forward line set up better now. Michael Walters is the deepest. He looks like the one-on-one that can create the most damage.
Good tackle laid by Gray again. Sumner got it out. Thomas with the handball. Just too hot for Murphy. And Neil content to see it out.
They're the little mistakes you don't need against this Fremantle side, though. Thomas there with the basic handball. Got to hit Murphy every time. Then the ball is either out of play 50 metres out from Carlton's goal.
You see Walters now getting sucked up the ground. I don't think Pav has got the speed now to be the last forward if you're going to play a paddock. You'd rather have Walters there who can go forward or back.
Clark down to 5. Didn't look to have travelled 15 from here. In fact, Fife almost marked his own ball. Kerridge. Casbolt and Jones, and maybe too wide. A little nudge to the back of Jones.
Yeah, hands in the back.
So gets a lucky one, and as Gerard said in the opening term, it's just good to get your hands on the ball occasionally, and you'll take it any way you can. High to Cruiser, can't get the run at it.
Go. This is where we'll see if you can't play footy like that.
Simpson.
Not anymore, Jono.
Not when you've got a clear run coming out of defensive 50 as well. It wasn't if it was a rush kick from stoppage.
That's the kick you were looking for, and not the kick you were looking for from Gibbs.
They are being offered a present here, the Blues. They're saying, take this game for us. Take the 4 points.
Unwrap it.
Unwrap it for us, and yet they won't take advantage of it. When that hack kick out of the defensive area, that was symptomatic of where the Dockers are at the moment. They're so down on confidence, it looks like.
Jared, I think that the discussion in the box needs to be, do we need to utilise a Walters or a Ballantyne off half-back? Because they are creative, they use angles on exit. You just don't give the ball back like these half-back flankers are at the moment.
That's right, Kingy. They change their run as well, don't they? Change direction like Jared Harbrow from the Gold Coast and Sard.
Gibbs long, and good floating mark for Spur. And they're out here if the kick's precise to Sheridan.
It was Daniel Pearce who was down there. He was the one who let himself down with the long kick, the hack kick. But he's working hard. He's working his way in. He's a better player than that.
And he does well there. Gave it back to Sheridan to Pearce. Thumped out of play. Didn't quite work for them.
I'm with you, Kingy. If there was 3 or 4 more Walters, I'd have one on the half-back flank. But I think Walters, you do need someone who's going to kick your winning score. Stephen Hill is the one.
It's not getting down there, though, Jared. I mean, the discussion is we love to have him in the goal square if the ball's coming down, but the problem's at half-back. I think that needs correcting first.
Barlow floats it up to half-forward. 5, up early. Couldn't mark it, but Brady Gray, right spot. Just needs a handball option. Weller, Gray. Now he needs a pass option. Floats it in the direction of Walters. There he is.
Oh.
Lead him there.
Yep, Jared. Well, you know what? He worked from the contest as he was about third in line and ended up being the go-to player inside forward 50 just through pure work rate to try and get in behind. The kick in the end was very good. 2 young players in Gray and Weller working it out between them to get the ball in long to Walters.
He's the kind of player that has a 6-7 goal game in him sometime, somewhere, somehow.
Plays off.
He lines up here. This is.
I'd like him to start with 1 here, Dwayne.
For his 150th of his career.
They just need some settlers here, the Dockers, some cheap goals, and they don't come much cheaper than this one after a really good mark.
Never in doubt.
So Ross Lyon has never been about stars. He's been about system and process and everybody playing their role. But right now, it may just be their star factor gets them across the line. There's number 1 star.
There's Walters at the contest. See him go. You can see that they're going to win it. He took off. Graham Weller worked it out. So smart play from Walters.
And really good play from Gray. He started well. Got away with a little nudge on the Irishman. But he's a scintillating talent.
There's that battle. Byrne, the Irishman, side by side with Walters. Tough task for Byrne. 4th game of his career. Clark back into the lineup this week, of course, up against Cruiser in the ruck. There he is reaching in. Clark couldn't quite get it out, but hassles his way to another ball up. Barlow, 3rd man up. Buckley. And the congestion, not coming out in a hurry. Umpires this afternoon, Luke Farmer, Sam Hay and Brent Wallace. This is Brent Wallace about to toss it in the air.
It's good to see Brent out there. He's doing a great job.
Ed Curnow. Tui. Got a couple of Irishmen out there, of course, the Blues. Murphy. Not Irish, but he's got the name. Wrapped up, ball up. And here's a little tap on the helmet. So the hit to the head last week was deep. The gash needed stitches. He was sick at half-time, but the hit to the head was in the 3rd quarter, so it wasn't at half-time his illness due to the head knock. Jones paddled away towards Dawson. We didn't know whether he was supposed to go and get it or not.
Plenty of numbers around this, Dwayne. He's going to be tough to get some clean possession.
Neil caught by Buckley. Good tackle, but no pry, although he did fumble it. Here's Darcy Tucker back on, the first gamer. After starting this quarter on the bench to Sutcliffe.
Good tackle.
Ripper tackle, and was rewarded by Wright. He'll get the free just outside 50.
Put him on the back foot. You see, he was on the heels. Watch on the heels,
Yeah,
Jared. You're in trouble. And Wright was able to close him up.
Can't change direction. You're gone.
It's been good joining them over summer as a free agent, and he hits a splendid spot here. Thumped away from Cruiser. Kerridge had a chance. Fife. Tucker in the congestion. Ed Curnow. Caught.
Whistle on. Come on.
Neil.
Let it go.
Barlow. You can throw a blanket over 20 of them. Fife. Dangerous. Simpson could make him pay. Hits the target instead, and Wright will line up.
Good composure. And this Valentine's throwing his weight around again.
But once again, though, we've had Fremantle Dockers have
so blood rule here.
Most of their side in the back half. They get it under pressure. They hack kick, Jono. There's no immediate release of handballs. There's too many people all trying to win the ball, and they're not structured up to run the ball out by hands once somebody wins it. So it goes to Simpson. He doesn't blast away. That was smart play, experienced play. He was confident enough to pick out a target.
But it's as Spurs coming off the ground with the blood rule, it really is the hack kick down the corridor too, to a really dangerous position. If you're going to do that, try and get it as wide as you possibly can.
For the lead back again. Struck it pretty well. Drifts it back to perfection.
That was close to him. That was very close. I thought that was going to hit the post flush and bounce back in. But you can see here, this is what you're talking about, Jared.
Yeah, look at all the players in and around this ball. All the Fremantle players inside. They're doing nothing. They're just spectating. And then there's a handball out. Now that's to Nat Fife. He's better than that. He had 2 players on his outside. That's just a bloke who's just desperate to get the ball out of there, and it comes straight back.
You can see what it means. You've got even Rowe in the background of that picture there. He's got the fist and it's clenched as well, and you can just see that every goal is so critical to this entire Blues team.
Cripps, Ed Curnow caught by Pavlich, Phillips, Wiedering, and so many new players for the Blues this year, trying to combine to get some chemistry as Gibbs goes wide to one of them, right. He kicked the last goal and will play his 100th game next week, but they've brought in quite a few. Kerridge, Lamb, Sumner, Plowman, Phillips, of course, Wiedering in his first season, Charlie Curnow in his first season.
All young, all hopefully can play 150 games for the Blues.
Hill scrambles it away, but again it was a kick to a spot rather than a player. Main, Fife, Pearce, Pokes it to Walters. And now they fan for him. Chris Mayne working ultra hard. Can he get there? He does.
Good job by Mayne. Good work. Good disposal. Up the ground to get it to him. But he's gone from one of the best kicks in the game to one of the more nervous kicks. And he's just got to get out of the nervous department and get straight back to where he was, and that is delivering goals under enormous pressure.
He's kicking at 18% at goal this year, Jared. He's had 11 shots. He's kicked 2 goals, 6 and 3 clean misses. That's from this spot for his career all grounds. But this year at 18%. And he blows that huge chance there again.
If he was a golfer, he'd be going the broomstick putter by now.
From the kick in, Simpson.
I actually think the deep breaths now make it expose his technique even more. He just needs to sort of get back, get in a good position and get going.
More time to think.
Yeah.
Johnson in the spot here. Good hands. At the reach and the run up.
Well, they haven't had too many repeat inside 50s, the Dockers. This would be their first for this quarter, I would think.
He sits it up, hoping for the high grab. Big fist from Wiedering, got it down. Rowe. Simpson, he'll be content with the line.
So this gives the Dockers a chance to press up and lock it in until they get a decent score. That's only one of those at the moment. A goal.
You can see every player within a kick of the ball in. Cripps, good look away handball to Thomas, and he breaks through Sheridan into open space. Dockers have a 3-on-1. Or Brady Gray, a little fumble. Caught by Casbolt. Buckley put his head down, went hard. They've got the spare, the Dockers. Hill takes off. Drives it long, hoping for Pavlich. Big grab.
Star power. Star power is what's keeping them in the game at the present time. Along with a young kid called Gray, who's done really well.
He has.
Fumbled a handball, should have used his left, went with his right. It's amazing how dead the rocket handball is at times, Jono, under pressure, where the mongrel seems to suffice.
There he is, massive Stephen Milne fan growing up. As I said, back for the Saints when Ross Lyon was coaching them. And now playing under Ross Lyon in his first game of the season, second of the year. Pavlich goes for the pass. And it might be okay. It depends on what Sutcliffe does with it.
Well, it's a similar position, just a worse angle now. And Pav kicks the ball a long way. So him kicking from 50 there, I think he'd be more effective in this position.
Well, he's kicked it to a guy who hasn't kicked a goal all year. He's kicked 14 career goals in 73 games. Pav knows his eggs. Sutcliffe was never in doubt.
Great decision by Pav to kick it off. Oh, look, I thought Pav should take that on his own and have a good crack at things, but in the end, unselfish, works out well for Fremantle. This is a great kick here from Hill, running straight down the corridor. Courage with the lead from Pav, straight up, pressure from behind, big grab.
That's the kick that Kingy's talking about. Stephen Hill, he's the one they'd love to clone and get 2 or 3 of. Wings, half-backs, set it up. There's the kick. Knew his man.
Lee Spur back on the ground, come off with the blood rule, and Docs have sorted him out.
Cruiser high after the ball thumped into the deck hard. Neal, Pearce, Weller, Hill. Sutcliffe, the goal kicker, heads to Tabiner. Had 2 to beat. Rowe. Handball missed his target. Brady Gray the steal. Tabiner back to Pav. Takes on Tui. Floated the handball in the Fife direction. Didn't quite get to him. Good tackle though laid.
Was. Gang tackle. They've lifted a bit, Jono, the Dockers. They needed to.
A lot more energy. Around the contest here, Jared. 2 coming in, helping each other out.
Cruiser with the palm down to Murphy. Couldn't break free.
Got to find
Cripps.
some of that.
Fife. Neal. Bends it around top of the square. Walters went up, took Gray out. And it rolls out of play.
Great start by young Gray. He really is having a go. And Walters looks like he might be in for that day, John, that you talked about, or Dwayne, you did, with 7 or 8.
One at a time. Cruiser. Griffin.
He's going to have 8 goes, I know that.
Pearce. Umpire Farmer will sort it out.
He might kick the whole score with 8 goals, Jerry.
He could, for both teams.
Knocked down to Barlow. Had to flip it to Fife. Right. Just rolls it towards the boundary, but Dawson couldn't keep it alive.
Almost wound the clock back about 5 years with this particular game. 4 goals to 3. That 131 possession, 131 possessions in the first quarter of the Dockers.
For 2 goals.
It's not a big average.
Back toward the boundary line and the ball out of play. Fremantle has started 0-5 before. Back in 2001. That's what they're staring at. Carlton last started 0-5 in '89, the last season under Robert Walls. It wasn't a full season. Back into play. Fife.
Well, this is where they're taking a little bit of control. Contested possession. That one there's a good tackle from behind again. It's Carlton's free kick from the full, but 62-50 in contested possession Fremantle's way. Carlton very good last week. You've already mentioned that a couple of times, Jared, against the Western Bulldogs. So they need to lift their rating around the footy.
Charlie Curnow held his ground, bangs it forward. Johnson gets back. Read that well. Spur.
We spoke about how Gibbs and Murphy and Cripps had done so well in the first quarter. Well, Murphy hasn't touched it in this term, and Gibbs has had just the 3.
Nice move by Tucker. The sidestep. Neil.
You've nearly got a man Johnson up, don't you? Try and get someone else spare from a Carlton point of view with Fremantle. Johnson there spare, he sets up everything.
He does.
If you can man him up and as a Casbolt or a Jones work from him, it doesn't matter if Dawson gets it. He's not going to set up as well as what a Johnson would.
Phillips front spot, flicked down.
Good
tackle on Wright and stripped him, did Fife. Wright steals it back again, but now he's got it and they're on him, and Fife tries to run away with it. That was superb. Umpire says no, out of play.
There was a brilliant bit of leadership there by Nat Fife. Great tackle, stripped it, lost it, got it back, moved it forward. And he's got himself a corky right in front of you, Kingy.
He certainly has. They're big thighs to cork, Jared.
Ball to Murphy, fumbled it. Pearce, kick half smothered. Gibbs. Fremantle hold, it's coming back.
Daniel Pearce is working really hard inside. He's just got to give away the hack kick. He's just trying to get it on the boot at any cost. Hands are the way to get out of the congestion.
Well, this is dangerous. This is the first gamer. Tucker across the face. Good fist away by Simpson.
That's better by Simpson. He's had a couple opportunities where he hasn't really got across in this second quarter to help out defensively. Did a great job on that occasion.
Oof.
Wide bomb.
Shepherd in the finish.
Wiedering. Thomas. Phillips front spot. Barlow. Wiedering and Main.
Just a little bit of work going on Nathan Fife's lower left leg. He's taken a knock on the side, I think. So I know that calf just in front of us here. So not too many dramas. Should be back on shortly.
Yeah, it might just take the edge off a little bit. Half time, you'll have to probably get on the bike and just make sure he keeps moving so he doesn't stiffen up.
Thomas.
Another handball went to ground. It's just for a professional team, 2 teams, just too many balls going to ground.
+6 in tackles this quarter alone.
Pavlich!
Oh, that's a grab.
Almost turned back the clock. Goes back to get it.
Geez, he looked like he controlled it. I suspect it was probably an arm that hit an arm that knocked it out. Good to see him up in the air though, Dwayne.
Yeah, good spot for a ball up too. Absolutely. Tackle laid by Barlow. About the tick into time on, second quarter. Phillips. Curnow hacks it away. Weller. Traps. Simpson. Curnow. Murphy got it to Thomas. He ran into Weller hard, and we'll get another ball in. Crowd starting to find voice, starting to enjoy the contest a bit more. 31-24. This is the biggest margin that Fremantle's had for the game. Cripps.
Brilliant from
Gibbs,
Cripps.
little fumble. Caught by Hill. Off the carpet from Crozier. And Gray takes the big grab.
That's a massive grab from Gray.
I was on the back of the fumble. It was an A grade. It's the only way to describe it. It was an A grade extraction from Cripps. Little fumble from Gibbs, and then a bit of ingenuity on the left foot.
So pick 58 back in 2013, Brady Gray. Third season on the list. He had a stress fracture in his back a couple of years ago that held him back. He's always been a Docker, played for the Burnie Dockers. And here he is, lining up for his first goal. Got under it a bit. Big fist Phillips. And was that on the floor?
It could have been. It wasn't a bad handball from Plowman. It was pretty smart. Handballed into the leg of Sheridan.
Going to see a bit of that develop over the next few years. Players and coaches looking for ways to not take the ball out or get pinged, but get it out anyway.
From the knockdown. Kerridge slams it away. Cruiser and Hill.
He's lifted Hill. He's been really good in this term.
Every player in one half of the ground. Kick smothered by Cruiser. Curnow lays the tackle on Hill. Got it to Dawson. Got it to Sheridan. Kicks it inside 50 to Neal. Got down low. Repeat entries.
Should have been 50.
Superb.
That should have been 50, Jared. Cruiser cribbed about 3 metres, I reckon, over the mark. Umpire missed it.
He actually went after it again, Cruiser, when he needed to block and let Curnow come through, who was body lining the ball. He got a hand in there, and it caused another turnover back Fremantle's way. It's a good entry by them on this occasion.
Well, we just saw his game stats in this term. 7 possessions at 100%, 4 contested and 2 clearances. Needs a goal.
Struck it okay. Misses.
Inside of the post.
Both teams have blown some huge opportunities. If you have just joined us, this is still the biggest margin of the game to either team. 8 points. It's been close from the outset. Tui.
I think Hawthorn and Adelaide had this at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter on Friday night.
And yet, like that game, we're still no closer to knowing who's going to win this one. It is tight. Gibbs, Kerridge, waits, and then drives it.
This is a big contest. Right
Casbolt, Dawson. Casbolt free. Not allowed to play under advantage because the ball was...
silly. That is so silly from Thomas, playing on in that situation there. He knew that once he picked it up, the advantage wasn't called. You have to stop now. What it's done is allowed Fremantle to get all their numbers back behind the play instead of it being in Casbolt's hands.
Casbolt sits it up, still hoping for Phillips or Sumner. Big Clark thump. Curnow to Curnow. Little brother to big brother. And this is...
You're on the money, John. They had to go back as quickly as possible. Might have gone straight back to Thomas. He might have kicked a goal, but he guaranteed it was going to be a slow entry.
Fife puts Barlow under the hammer. Tui hunted him down. Gray hunts him down. He's swimming like a dolphin to try and make out he got rid of the ball. Simpson barrels it towards full forward, and Curnow, Charlie, takes the mark.
Well, a really poor handball again from Nat Fife. Too much hang time. Nearly put Michael Barlow in hospital. His ribs got crunched. And a good turnaround here by the Blues.
Thought I was at SeaWorld there for a minute.
Charlie Curnow.
He does look like a player, this kid.
He is the little brother of Ed, but he's the big brother by size, of course. He's a unit. Big kick for him. 4th AFL game. And he drives it home. And it stays tight.
Good response there by the Blues. A couple of repeat entries. Self-inflicted wound here by the Dockers with that hang time. Probably should have been a tap over, and you've got to get smarter. The good sides are now just tapping the ball rather than taking possession. We saw the Crows do that on Friday night to great effect.
Great tackle from Tui.
It was a good tackle and a good kick at goal.
Four minutes left in the half. 1 point game. Cruiser. Clark. Barlow. Neal flicks it out. But again, it's congested. Hack to half forward for the Blues. Sutcliffe gets there. Kerridge tries to rake it out.
Playing with the goalkeeper at the moment, the Dockers. Spur sitting 40 metres off the pack, long way back.
That's better from Jones going there, making the 2v1. He needs to split those two players, Pearce and Spur.
As you wrapped up, a little bit of coaching there from two of the all-time greats, Brad Johnson, Gerard Healy. Just try and make sure it's not a one-sided contest if it comes down. Kerridge to right. Having an impact. Ed Curnow back to Simpson. Can he find a chest? Kerridge will do. Is he within range though?
He's opening up the angle pretty nicely. Good umpiring to bring him back.
Well, he can kick a goal when he's on. He's got a 6-goal game to his name. This is for the lead if he has a crack in the shadows of half-time.
I'd take the man on the mark on here, Dwayne. Why wouldn't you? Dawson will jump. Step inside. You've got metres around you.
I've got Cruiser there for the big mark if it goes to the top of the square, which is likely to do.
See if he opens it up. From 50, always near side.
He's trying to get more distance, swings the ball across his body and drags it left. There's Nat Fyfe going in for some treatment. Had that knock on the shin, probably still worrying him.
So he's done for the half with 3 minutes left. Good mark to Main. Held his ground. And he sits that Doherty up. He knocked it down with a sprawl, hoping to get it to a teammate. Could have marked it. Barlow, Hill, Barlow, Main. They're out of trouble. Neal out wide. And Simpson keeps that in. A couple of Dockers stopped. Boundary umpire said keep going. Curnow thumps it in the Jones direction. He backtracks. Pearce, Jones. Good tackle led by Jones. Keeps it in the area. Scramble Johnson.
He's dragged that in there.
Yes. He's tackled by Wright. Umpire sweating off him. Well, says I'll toss it.
You're right, because he did go to ground, Johnson, and once he went to ground, it was like, oh, you're in trouble. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Scores were level at quarter time. They're level now. Murphy, kick, good smother.
Free kick.
Fremantle advantage. Weller thumps it out. Ballantyne and Walters both there. Neither went for it. Byrne. And he's got the spare man, Doherty, who can drive it from there. He doesn't. Short pass. And it's all up to Levi Casbolt from here.
Well, kicking from range, I like that with Casbolt because he's going to have to kick straight through the ball. So, kick this 150. He gets an opportunity to really launch it.
So Levi Casbolt, he's running at 27% at goal this year. He's kicked 3 goals, 4 from 11 shots. He's got 4 clean misses to his name.
Loves this spot, though. Look at that. His career. Straight over the goal umpire's hat twice.
Set sail. Got plenty on it, but it's wide. Spur with 1 minute left. Both teams have had 1-goal margins. That's about it. It's wide. Cruiser, Taberner, Hill. All in.
I'd love one here, Jared. Carlton leading into half-time.
It'd be fantastic for them, wouldn't
the
it?
energy
Really lift their
that would
confidence.
bring.
Saw the goalkeeper going back again for the Dockers.
Ball not down to Cripps. Barlow wrapped him up, stripped him. Still alive, the ball. Pearce, somehow to Sheridan. Somehow towards Kerridge. Breaks through with a handball. There's that goalkeeper. Spur. Bangs it to Pav. Half volley. 30 seconds left. Handed it to Walters. Seconds keep ticking. Plowman. Walters. Brace clear. Is there time enough for the Dockers? The Pav. Handball too hot. Burn. Caught by Tucker. Came to Crozier. Daniel Pearce. Thumped away by Plowman. Taken out by Simpson.
Good. Fremantle were going there. They were trying to get on the bike to score late. That saved them. Still 9 seconds though. Either side here out of a contest with a long kick forward with an opportunity.
Back into play.
Mark Murphy by himself here.
Time enough for a clearance and a quick score here. Pearce looks up. Gray was crunched. Cripps, who we're about to talk to with David King in a matter of seconds, also crunched. It is half time. Two teams looking to get the monkey off their back to finally get a win for 2016, and we're still no closer to knowing who's going to have the 0-5 start out of these two.